Hello, everyone. We're going to get started here now. My name is Kamala Weedy, and on behalf of Clet World Languages, I'd like to welcome you to our special session going over the new BlinkUX with our digital sales manager, Joel Stark. And just a reminder that this is being recorded, and we will be posting it once it's ready for future reference. So with that being said, I'll hand it over to Joel. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kamala. Thanks, greetings and welcome to this webinar from Clet World Languages. I'm your host, Joel Stark. Some of you know me. I can see some familiar names. Some of you are new, so welcome. I'm so happy that you were able to join us today. The topic of today's webinar is called BlinkUX. So first, what is BlinkUX? BlinkUX is the name of the new interface that our online platform partner, BlinkLearning, is going to be releasing on February 10th, 2022. BlinkUX is first and foremost a cosmetic change. It's going to be an improvement in design, and that's going to actually offer us a lot of functional improvements as well. Those of you who are veteran Blink users may have already noticed over the course of the last year some changes to the sign-in pages at Blink. This is part of a larger user experience overhaul that will go live in about 4 weeks. Let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. I want to be respectful of your time today. I don't want this to take a full hour, so we should probably be done in maybe hopefully about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to try to make my best, to make this brief and informative as possible. And at the end, we'll have some chances for you to answer ask some questions. Yeah, I know so many of you here today don't necessarily consider yourselves tech people, and that's okay. You rely heavily on Blink for your day-to-day. So a change to Blink may sound like you're going to be thrown into chaos. So I want you to rest assured that the old version of Blink will still be operational through most of 2022. And you're going to have the option to use either version. So here you're able to see my screen. If that's correct, I just want to confirm with Kamala. And this is the new sign-on page. And signing into a teacher account, I'm going to just sign into the sample teacher account. And let's see here. Somebody can't hear me, but it sounds like everybody else is able to hear me. Okay, so I'm going to sign into this sample teacher account, and I'll show you what the experience is going to be like for you when this goes live on February 10th. So sorry about that. Signing into this Blink account, I can see that at the bottom of the screen, I have the option to activate the new design. I can also say, don't show this again. If I decide to say, don't show this again, it'll go away and it's not going to bother us anymore. If I decide that at a later time that I do want to try BlinkUX, I can simply go up to my profile area and activate the new design. So I'm going to do that now, and it's going to show me the new layout of Blink. Now, first and foremost, it's what we're seeing here is the menu changed. It's moved over to the left-hand side of the screen, the top of the page, in a more modern look. So that's going to free up a lot of space in the middle of the page to give you more information on the same screen. And let's see here. The first thing I want to do now is show you how to deactivate. So let's just say that we want to go back to old Blink. We don't want this anymore. Your profile information is going to be located in this menu in the top left side of the screen. So I'm going to click on that hamburger menu in the top left side of the screen. I can see that my picture, my avatar would be located here in this red circle. I can click on the downward facing caret, and I can switch back to the previous layout. Now, I'm back to the old Blink, back to classic Blink. If I need to go back for any reason, I could use this menu at the bottom. And we are in fact going to go back to activate the new design. So we're back to BlinkUX, and that's how you're going to be able to go back and forth. You don't have to worry about this throwing you off. A lot of people aren't going to want to make the switch on February 10th, and you're going to want to continue using what's tried and true, what you're used to. And so I just want you to have that level of assurance that you're not going to be thrown into something totally chaotic midway through your semester. The next thing that I want to show you is going to be more information on the content. And in order to do that, on the content page, in order to do that, I'm going to need to sign into a different account. So I'm going to actually log out of this account and sign into this account here. And this is the old Blink. I'm going to switch over to the new design. And what I see in my main content area is that I've got a lot of books for one. Second, though, that's going to jump out to you is that we now have more information for the book title. So one of the, in the previous version of Blink, all of the book titles only had one line. So you would get the truncated elided version of the title. And so you would have a lot of titles that just say Netzwerk ... or Portfolio Deutsch ... Now we actually have two lines to work with. It's going to be a lot more clear of what the book you're working with is titled. So that's a big improvement. Next, I will point out that BlinkUX is going to inform you whether your license code has expired or not. So for me, in this teacher account, my Impuls Deutsch 1 Machen course book has expired. So now I can inform the tech support team that I need a new license without having to be interrupted in the middle of a class. And I can know ahead of time that I'm not able to see this material. So this is the table of contents. To go back to my content library, I have this back arrow at the top of the page. So those are the two or the three big improvements of the content library. We've got our menu taking up less space at the top and left side of the page. The title of the book covers 2 lines, giving you more information, and you're not totally reliant on either customizing that title or on the thumbnail icon. And we also have information on the status of our license. The second thing I want to show you is the classes area. So in the old Blink, this is called My Classroom. And let me just actually pause for a second. The main functionality of Blink is pretty much the same. Again, what BlinkUX is really doing is giving you like a facelift. So whereas in the past you had your core tabs occupying the center of the page in the previous layout, we've got content library, classrooms under my students, grades, and the messages in the new design that's located here on the main menu on the left-hand side of the screen. So let's take a look at the classroom area. I've got 3 classrooms. They're all blue by default. The nice thing about BlinkUX and the new feature here is that I'm going to be able to actually make some visual customizations for myself, which is going to make my life a little easier. So I can edit the style of the avatar for this class, or the icon for this class. I could change the image if I'd like. Even just changing the color to red makes that class stick out from the others. And for me, I'm a visual user. I like to be able to say, okay, well, maybe blue is one level and red is going to be a different level of use. Other than that, we've got the class code visible in the menu area. Simply clicking on the class code is going to copy it to your clipboard, and you can paste it then wherever you're going to provide that to your students for their information. Clicking on the classroom itself will take you to the classroom. I can see the teachers and co-teachers in the same area, just like in previous Blink. There again is the class code. And here are the students that are also in the classroom as well. Student enrollment will show up right here. And let's see what's next on my list. How to edit a classroom, I just did that. Let's take a look at the student view. So while we're in the classroom area, I want to take a look. I'm going to click on See Sheet. And this is going to give me some student information. So an improvement upon the last version of Blink, or the current heritage version of Blink, is it's now going to be easier to find your student's email address. So one major issue with your students' problems accessing their materials is creating multiple accounts. Now we can actually look at the student's profile and see precisely what email they have enrolled in our classroom with a really easy click of a button. So I can see here Chad student has got a CLET USA email address. And so if he's trying to now if he's telling me that he's logging in with a CLET World Languages email address, I would say, you're only enrolled with a CLET USA email address. We have to try to straighten that out. And that's probably our #1 tech support issue. So other than that, adding your books to your classroom works the same as before. You're gonna find that a lot of the functionality is going to be analogous to the classic heritage version of Blink. All right, so speaking of students, I want to show just another item or two. What's going to be useful for students is also to know that they can also activate and deactivate BlinkUX in the same way. So this is a demo student. This is Chad's student. He can also click Activate New Design. And what's really helpful for the student is also knowing whether their book code is active or not. In the previous version of Blink, the student's content will appear to them once they're enrolled in the classroom. And it wasn't clear why they were seeing a book present in their content. Now they're still seeing the book present in their content, but it's telling them that they're missing the code. So this is a huge improvement. It's going to be a huge relief for customer support and you supporting your students, letting them know that, okay, you've got the product as a result of being in the classroom. Now you've got to go out and buy the code and activate the code. Having that information is super key. And that's about it that I'm able to show now. Other options, we could go through messaging. A lot of it works the same as old Blink, I guess we could call it. Messaging, homework, assigning work, it's redesigned, but it functions in the same way. So these are some conversations that I've had. You can see here in this message area. I'm also seeing the homework that I've sent to my students, just like the old version of Blink. And somebody's asking about the gradebook. We can take a look at the gradebook. I think I have some student data in this class. What I forgot to mention is the gradebook is no longer listed in the main menu. So in old Blink, right next to or between faculty and my students was the grades area. BlinkUX puts the gradebook actually in the classroom. So in the gradebook area, I can see here for this classroom, it's Joel's tutoring students. It's going to be the same exercise gradebook as the past. It's going to look a little different. But still the structure, the hierarchy of the chapter versus activity versus component structure. This is the tertiary structure of the design. This student took 3 tries, 1 try, 3 tries on each of these components for this activity for this chapter. It's the same as what you're used to in the old Blink. Homework functions in the same way. I've got my homework assignments that I've created ahead of time. This Chad student has 88% of this. It just looks and feels a lot different, a lot better. Where again, the movement of the menu to the top and left side is giving you more workable space, which should make Blink in many respects much easier to use. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing. I think that kind of concludes what I wanted to show you today. So we can go to chat. I'll start peeking over there and start answering some questions. Let's talk about current book codes work for BlinkUX. Yeah, so the current book codes, everything transfers. So it's like nothing's going to change. All you need to do is activate the BlinkUX, and everything on the back end is going to stay the same. And you can actually switch back and forth, like I said at the beginning of the presentation. So you don't have to worry about new book codes at the moment, unless you activate the new BlinkUX and it's telling you that your license code is expired. And then you're going to want to reach out for new licenses. Okay, so the gradebook, we talked about that. Hiding activities, that's particular for customizable books. I haven't looked into customizing a book in BlinkUX at this time, but I'm sure the core functionality will be exactly the same, at least in theory. So grading the same, P for pending. A lot of these things I don't really have the answers for. We don't really, we'll have detailed tutorials available for before February 10th, and you'll be able to look at those tutorials in the same channels you currently get your support information. So if you're a CLET USA customer, if you're a German teacher, you'll be able to find your tutorials at cletusa.com/support. If you're Spanish, you'll be able to find them on the Diffusion US site. And if you're French, you'll be able to find them on the emdl.us site as well. So that's where we will put the tutorials when they're completed. A lot of these tutorials take quite a bit of time and attention in order to get them exactly correct. So we want to make sure that we have those available for you prior to the launch. I'm not sure of any additional new features like a calendar for this version of Blink. It's looking like not at this time. So most of the core functionality is going to remain the same. So think old Blink, but a better look for the most part. Will this impact all books? Will we still use, we are still on the old Portfolio Deutsch? Yeah, so it's going to impact any user who wants to use BlinkUX. So it's really independent of the book. Talking to Susan Weaver, the book is a product of CLET, and so our book actually isn't going to change, but the platform that's hosting the book is changing. And so it's really not going to affect any of the content of the books at this time. So does assigning homework send email notifications to students? Or is there a way to bypass email notifications? I'm not sure about that. I know that right now the mechanism for that is to assign a homework and it sends a student an email. I don't know if the UX will be able to turn that off or not, but I can definitely check on that. Yeah, you should not already have that option, Bruce. Bruce is asking about already being able to switch, turn it on and off. I have it for this demo, but it's not open to the public until February 10th, 2022. All right. If the teacher activates BlinkUX, it doesn't become activated for the students, to my knowledge, at least in my demonstration. So it looks like the students will have to, each individual is going to have to activate it themselves. And they'll have the option, again, like I said, to go back and forth. You just have to go to your profile area and you can select activate new design or go back to the previous design. Okay, semester started on Monday. Okay, that's a different issue. We could talk about that. For the time being, I can switch back to the old version. Yep, you can switch back to the old version if you don't like it. That's absolutely correct. You'll have the choice to use the old Blink. I guess that's a good name. You'll be able to use the current version of Blink for 2022. We don't have a time yet when they're going to turn off the old Blink, but for now, like for the indefinite future, you'll be able to use the classic version of Blink. Okay, so we've got some people in the Q&A. I'm going to actually just, pop over to the Q&A area. When will the CLET web shop be functioning again? The CLET web shop, different topic, but it's going to be online tomorrow. Actually, it'll be online tonight at 4 a.m. Eastern. Carmen is saying, as he said, okay, you're welcome, Carmen. Glad that you're here. There's changes to the gradebook in the future. Other than cosmetic, I don't think that BlinkUX is going to make any changes. I think they're all cosmetic at this time. Yep. CLET USA website is under maintenance. Ava, are the videos more user-friendly for grading? No update on grading functionality. You don't actually have to watch the video for every student, to my knowledge. I think that was fixed, but we can definitely meet, talk about that later. Assigning homework. Yeah, okay, we talked about assigning homework as well. So, few to no features, that's right. It's mostly cosmetic. That can make a big difference, particularly when you need that visual space, and that's going to solve a lot of usability issues. So please feel free to, I think we're going to wrap this up here. Feel free to follow up with me. Most of you have my email. If you don't, it's jstark@cletwl.com. I'll just put that in the chat here, jstark@cletwl.com. I'm going to thank everybody for participating today, and thank you for asking questions. Please reach out to me if you have any concerns, questions going forward. And I really look forward to working with you in the future. Best of luck in 2022, and have a great rest of your day.